Russia, with whom Pakistan has limited trade and economic engagement, is part of an old romance, shared by segments of the strategic community, society, and liberal elements. In comparison to Moscow, or even Beijing, the EU and the US remain Pakistan's most important trading partners. People in Pakistan think that policymakers got off on the wrong foot with Moscow, when Pakistan's first Prime Minister, Liaquat Ali Khan, made the mistake of accepting an invitation to visit from the United States, instead of Moscow. However, Pakistan tried to signal the US and the West, after more than a decade, that it wants more independence, in pursuing ties. Former head of Inter-Services Intelligence, Asad Durrani, has long stated desire for Pakistan to form a power bloc with China and Russia. The views of Durrani are difficult to comprehend, but they are also shared by a group of security and foreign policy experts, who are suspicious of the United States and want independence. Pakistani leaders have been hoping Russia could help their country become less dependent on the West and the United States, and to create an independent foreign policy. During Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Imran Khan's main goal in going to Moscow was to make this long-held dream come true. He didn't seem to care about the situation in Ukraine, and talked about how happy he was to be in Moscow. He was there to improve relations between the two countries and reach a deal with Putin on a gas pipeline. The visit itself, which hasn't led to any concrete deals, contracts, or financial help, is a sign of the country's slow and unplanned drift away from the West toward the East, which also resulted in him getting ousted from power. He even claimed that his meeting with Putin was the start of an international plot to get rid of his government. It's not like the US will push Pakistan to get closer to Russia. In fact, Washington told Islamabad that it was keeping an eye on the trip. The message told Islamabad not to go too far with Russia, and to be careful about how it acts. Pakistan was under Western pressure to condemn Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but Imran Khan slammed and responded harshly to the EU's and US's demands for Pakistan to join the Western Bloc. This harsh and uncompromising reply by Khan had sent unsettling waves through the country's financial sector, which was already reacting badly. Also lost its overall relevance to the West and US. However, to secure confidence of the US and Europe, and to get access to Western assistance and investment funds, Pakistan's military leader condemned Russia's invasion on Ukraine. Once again, Pakistan reverted to the US, and Imran's goal of building an independent foreign policy remained a dream. Whether or not the goal of independence will be reached depends a lot on Pakistan's economic and political strength, which is still uncertain because of opinion inside Pakistan is divided. This week, in Samarkand, a flurry of news reports followed Shehbaz Sharif's meetings with Russian President Vladimir Putin on the sidelines of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization gathering. Pakistan is in talks with Russia on the possibility of importing oil on deferred payment. If the proposal is materialized, it will be a landmark development, given that Pakistan imports oil from Gulf countries, and in the past Saudi Arabia and UAE supplied Pakistan oil on deferred payment. However, it is not clear if the government can pursue the option, given the likely opposition from the United States. Because the US previously advised them not to engage in such a venture with Russia. Russia-Pakistan pipeline story is similarly credulous. A decade ago, various news sources said Pakistan will give Russia gas pipeline contracts. Several news reports and optimistic headlines have suggested that a new multi-billion-dollar plan involving Russia might solve Pakistan's natural gas shortfall. So far, Russia and Pakistan have just met and only made headlines. Russia's actions hampered life. Moscow's 2014 seizure of Crimea and eastern Ukraine prompted Western sanctions. The US sanctioned RT Global Resources, a Russian business, engaged in the Pakistan pipeline in December 2015. The project was derailed. Even after replacing the sanctioned contractor, various additional sticking points stopped Khan from confirming pipeline progress during his 2022 Moscow visit. In Samarkand, Sharif fared a bit better, although the initiative was stated, but no specific milestones were announced. Pakistan aims to diversify its dependence on China and the US. But the US economic instruments are still strong enough to complicate any agreement with Russia. And Russia's money and skills have so far been inadequate to avoid them. Even though it's a cliché, but it's true. Russian pipelines in Pakistan have turned out to be a fantasy. The dream is appealing, but there are few indications that it will come true.